Hello, we are discussing about GATE 1999 ECE paper, and this question is related to analog circuits. Look at the circuit diagram given. The circuit diagram is N channel, JFET it consisting of, and it has been using for the common source configuration. Given that JFET capacitances, that is inter-electrode capacitances, are internal or parasitic capacitances. It has given CGS, CGD and CDS. We are going to calculate AC small signal, mid-band voltage gain and upper 3 dB frequency. That is upper 3 dB cutoff frequency or upper cutoff frequency. Okay. Generally for any amplifier, if you are going to observe the frequency response can be drawn with respect to voltage gain versus frequency. Okay, and for this one, this is going to be the frequency response of any generalized amplifier, may it be JFET amplifier or BJT amplifier. Okay, if you observe, frequency is starting from here, this point is 0, frequency is starting from 0, and as frequency is going, you are looking at middle of the frequencies. Okay, from this point, in between these 2 points, gain is maximum, so that is treated as AVM, maximum gain, or gain at mid frequencies. So this will be treated as mid frequency range, and below this one it is treated as low frequency range, above this one it is treated as high frequency range. At low frequencies and at mid frequency and at high frequencies, gain reduces, okay, compared to mid frequency range, and at mid frequency range the circuit becomes resistive, whereas in other two cases, at low frequency and mid frequency, circuit becomes reactive, because okay, at low frequencies coupling capacitors, that is microfarad capacitors CB, CC, CE are going to be exist. At high frequencies, inter-electrode capacitances CGS, CGD and CSD or CDS are going to be existing. Okay, and at mid frequencies, microfarad capacitors act as short circuit and picofarad capacitors act as open circuit, so no capacitor exists. And we know that when capacitor is a frequency sensitive element, as frequency increases, reactance of capacitor gets reduces. So whenever capacitor is present, at that time voltage gain is also depends on that capacitor whose reactance is not constant, so that you don't get the constant voltage gain. So as frequency increases, at low frequencies and at mid frequencies, gain is going to be not constant, it varies. Okay. So at high frequencies we are interested because we are going to calculate upper 3 dB frequency. At high frequencies the gain is indicated as AVH, and the relation between mid-band voltage gain and high frequency voltage gain is shown like this: 1 plus JF by FH. FH is nothing but upper cutoff frequency. At F is equal to FH, okay, AVH magnitude is going to be equal to AVM divided by root 2. So the frequency at which voltage gain is going to be drops to 70.7% or 1 by root 2 times of its maximum voltage gain, that frequency is treated as upper cutoff frequency as well as lower cutoff frequency in the low frequency range. But we are interested only in the upper cutoff frequency, so FH. That FH, if you want to calculate at that time, this is AVM. So you must draw the 70.7% of its value. 70.7% of its value. So this is 70.7%. 0.707 AVM, and that is intersecting this curve in high frequency range at this frequency. That frequency is upper cutoff frequency FH, and it is also intersecting the curve, frequency response curve, in low frequency range, which will be treated as FL, lower cutoff frequency. The difference between upper and lower cutoff frequencies, where the gain is greater than or equal to 70.7% of its maximum value, is treated as bandwidth. Bandwidth is a range of frequencies over which gain is greater than or equal to 70.7% of its maximum value. Now, for a BJT, you are going to apply input at some point and you are taking output at some other point. Okay, so AVH is going to be calculated based on the two things. So generally, for general amplifier circuit, AVH is given as 1 plus J times of F by FHI, that is upper cutoff frequency due to input side multiplying with 1 plus JF by FH naught, upper cutoff frequency due to output side. Whenever you are going with two frequencies, which will be treated as upper cutoff frequency? The actual upper cutoff frequency, actual FH, will be treated as minimum of FHI and FH naught. Out of these two things, whichever is going to be minimum, that will be treated as actual upper cutoff frequency. Okay, where FHI is equal to 1 by 2 pi Ri and Ci, and FH naught is equal to 1 by 2 pi R naught and C naught. Ri is nothing but effective input resistance, that is effective resistance present at input node. Ci, effective capacitance present at input node. R naught, effective resistance present at output node. C naught, effective capacitance present at output node. Okay, so this can be calculated by drawing the AC equivalent model at high frequencies. Okay, so first step is you must calculate AVM, midband voltage gain. Second step, draw high frequency equivalent model of given circuit. And step 3, identify Ri, Ci, R0, C0. And step 4, calculate FHI and FH0. Then calculate FH, which is minimum of these two things. Okay, this is a procedure we are going to use for this circuit. So first step is we have to calculate midband voltage gain, and we know that one at mid frequencies, if microfarad capacitors are present, they will act as short circuit. Picofarad capacitors, they will act as open circuit. So first, whenever you are going with equivalent circuit, at that time this transistor symbol, this FET symbol, has to be replaced with equivalent model. So first I will draw the equivalent model for this one. Later I will attach the other circuit components. Okay. And for JFET, always gate source junction is reverse bias, so that input resistance is very high, and for this model we will take it as infinite. So input junction act as open circuit. This is gate terminal and it is source terminal. Okay, and drain. This is GMVGS. And since it has given that one drain resistance small rd, you have to indicate small rd also. If this small rd is not given, at that time you can remove this small rd, that will be taken as open circuit. But it has given in the circuit. Okay, rd value is given. So this is equivalent model for this transistor symbol which is shown in circle. Okay. Now we are going to attach the other components which are connected to these three terminals. Source is connected to ground. Source is connected to ground. This is source terminal, so it is connected to ground. Okay, and next gate is connecting to RS, which is value is 2 kilo ohms, that is connecting to VS. So it is connecting to RS and that is connecting to VS. Next, gate side is also completed. Drain side. At drain you are taking output, that is from plus to ground. V0 is nothing but output from drain to ground. But for AC analysis we know that when VDD is treated as DC voltages are going to be shorted. Okay. So VDD is grounded. By that time RD is connected between drain and ground. This is capital RD and V0 is from ground, drain to ground. So this is equivalent model, small signal equivalent model for the JFET amplifier. Now we are going to calculate voltage gain for this one. Okay, voltage gain V0 can be written as, these two are going to be in parallel. Okay, so now GM VGS into RD parallel RD. Since the current is flowing in this direction, but plus minus shows that one always current should flow downwards. Current always flows from more positive to less positive, but actual current is flowing in opposite direction. So I am writing it as minus GM VGS. This is a current flowing through RD parallel RD. This is first equation. VGS is nothing but voltage from gate to source, plus minus. Since it is open circuit, no current flows through this one, so IG is equal to 0. So no voltage drop is taking place across RS. So VS is equal to VGS. You can write this one. So now V0 divided by VGS, which is nothing but V0 divided by VS, is equal to minus GM VGS into RD parallel RD. Okay, so that can be written as minus GM, sorry, this VGS already has taken this side, minus GM RD into RD divided by RD plus RD. Minus GM into RD can be written as mu times of RD divided by RD plus RD. Mu is given and RD is also given. Okay, mu is given as 50 and RD value is 10 kilo ohms divided by small RD is 10 plus 10. So 500 divided by 20, that is nothing but minus 25. This minus sign indicates that 180 degrees phase shift between output and input. Since it is common source amplifier provides 180 degrees phase shift. So there is a minus sign is in the voltage gain equation. So AVS, voltage gain AVS is equal to minus 25, or AVM, midband voltage gain. So this is first step. Second step is nothing but we have to draw AC equivalent model at high frequencies. So step 2, this is what step 1. Step 1 is nothing but first bit itself. Step 2, we have to draw the AC equivalent model at high frequencies. So at high frequencies there will be inter-electrode capacitances are existing. Those inter-electrode capacitances are this one. This is between gate and drain, that is CGD, and it is between gate and source, CGS, and there is a capacitor again, there is a CDS. So these three capacitances are given that I am going to indicate first. This is CGS and there is a capacitance present, CGD, and there is a capacitance present at this point. CDS. And this capacitor, now it should be replaced. This is a capacitance which is present across input and output, so this must be replaced. Okay, by using Miller's theorem you can represent the CGD value equivalently at input side separately, at output side separately. Okay, that if you are going to use, you will get this equation. Okay, already there is a capacitor which is CGD, and that equivalent capacitance can be drawn at as C1, and there is a capacitor already presented is CDS, and the capacitance between gate and drain can be equivalently written as one more capacitance which is at the output side as C2. Okay, so effective capacitance CI is equal to CGD plus C1, and C1 value can be calculated by using Miller's theorem as CGD plus, this is sorry CGS, this one is, this is CGS. Okay, this is CGS because gate and drain, gate and source, CGS plus C1 is nothing but it is CGD multiplying with 1 minus AVM, 1 minus AVM you can write. So that is equal to CGS plus CGD into 1 minus of minus is plus 25. So this will be equivalently, CGS is given. Okay, CGS is given as 5 picofarad plus CGD is given as 2 picofarad. 2 into 26, that is 52 plus 5 will become 57 picofarad. And next C0 is equal to CDS plus C2, because both the capacitors are in parallel, so you can add them, and CDS plus C2 can be written as CGD into 1 minus 1 by AVM. AVM is minus 25, so 1 by 25 is very small compared to 1, so this term can be neglected. So this will be approximated as CDS plus CGD itself. So this is 2 plus 2 is 4 picofarad. So CI and C0 are calculated. Okay, these two equations we will get from the Miller's theorem. And next, RI, equivalent resistance at input side. Equivalent resistance at input side can be calculated by making input source has to be neglected. By making the input source neglected, what is the effective resistance present at input node? That will be treated as effective input resistance. Like how do you calculate Thevenin's resistance? While calculating Thevenin's resistance, all voltage and current sources are going to be neglected. In the same way, if you are treating Vs is equal to 0, at that time this will be treated as short circuit. Then input node is nothing but from this point. So this resistance Rs is between input and ground. Now this is the resistance present from input node and ground. So Ri will become Rs, and R0 is equal to R0 is also same way. This current source will be treated as open circuit. Current source will be treated as open circuit because we are going to calculate effective resistance. Okay, by making this open circuit, there is a resistance between output node and ground. That is, you are looking into this side. Then there are two resistances which are in parallel. So R0 can be treated as R0 parallel RD, which is equal to 10 kilo ohm parallel with 10 kilo ohm, that is 5 kilo ohms. And RS value is given as 2 kilo ohms. We know each and every parameter now. CI, C0, RI, R0. Now you can calculate FHI. FHI is 2 pi RI and CI. that is 2 pi times of Ri is 2 kilo ohms, okay, into Ci Ci is 57 picofarad, 57 picofarad, that is 10 power 9, pico into kilo will become 10 power 9, okay. So divided by 2 into 2 is 4, 57 into 2 114, 228, 228 into pi, that will be equal to, the value of this one is FHI is equal to 1.39 megahertz, that is into 10 power 6, so it is around 1.39 megahertz. And next FH naught, FH naught is equal to 2 pi R naught C naught, 1 by 2 pi into R naught is equal to 5 kilo ohms, so 5k, 2 pi into 5k into C naught, C naught value is 4 picofarad, so that is 10 power 9 divided by 5 into 420, 5 into 420, 20 into 240, so this will be around 40 pi, 40 pi is going to be equal to 3.4 megahertz. So actual upper cutoff frequency, actual upper cutoff frequency FH is equal to minimum of FHI comma FH naught, and we know FHI is 1.39 megahertz and FH naught is 4 megahertz, so FH is equal to 1.39 megahertz. This is the answer. Thank you.